Okay. So the motivation, as usual, for the sake of all the beings, for the long life and good health of His Holiness the Dalai Lama and all the other teachers that we have, and then, yeah, in order to clarify things, in order to be more precise in our thought process and so on. Yeah. Hello, Palavidi, welcome. Okay, so I have the slides. I have the slides. Very good. So you should be able to see that picture start to play. Okay, okay, so we had, so this one is not so difficult, yeah? It follows, you can posit the comparison, the difference between the two, one entity and one substance. If they are contradictory, equivalent, three possibilities, four possibilities.
3P.
Yeah,
3P.
that's the thing.
3P, okay, so then, yes, so we'll see if we have an illustration of a common base. Could you posit a common base between the two? One entity and one substance?
An apple and its color.
Okay, it follows that the subject apple and its color are one entity. Yes, they are one entity because
Because they are different, and if they were appear to direct perception, they could not be separated.
exactly. Yes. So if we say 3P between the two, we could say because they are one substance. Yeah. Then it implies the perversion, no? Yes, so here, yes, apple and an apple and its color. Or here we have a cup and functioning thing, yeah. Yeah, they are both impermanent, yeah. Yeah, the subject, the two, an apple and its color are impermanent because
Because they are momentary.
yes, it follows that if it is momentary, it's necessarily impermanent.
Except
Okay, yes. And do you remember the definition of one substance?
something that is one entity and impermanent.
Yes, we could give that the kind of definition exactly. We could say the definition of being one substance is they are one entity and are all impermanent. Why not? Yeah, that could be a very good explanation. And some other definitions we can find in the text, like for instance, they don't appear separately to the direct perception to which they appear. Yeah, we could say. Yeah. They don't appear separately to the direct perception to which they appear. Yeah. Okay, very good. Okay, so it follows that the subject, the two, apple and its color are one substance.
Except
Yes, and the subject, the two, cup and functioning thing are one substance.
except
Okay. Okay, so now we have the perversion, no? What is the perversion between the two, one entity and one substance?
if it's one substance, it's necessarily one entity, but if it's one entity, it's not necessarily one substance.
Yes, everybody agrees? Yes, okay. Okay, too easy for all of you? Okay.
Sorry, it's not so easy for me. Can you repeat the pervasion again, Sigrunla?
If it's one entity, if it's one substance, it's necessarily one entity, but if it's one entity, it's not necessarily one substance.
Okay.
So for instance, could you posit an illustration of phenomena which are one entity but they are not one substance?
The cup and its selflessness.
Yes, the cup and selflessness. For the cup,
It's self, yeah.
yes,
I think it's and the selflessness.
it's selflessness if you wish. Okay.
Yeah, selflessness maybe also works. I have to think.
Okay, the cup and its selflessness. They are not one substance.
Except
They are not one substance
because selflessness is not impermanent.
it follows that the subject selflessness is not impermanent.
Yeah, except
It is not because
because it's not momentary.
it follows that if it is not momentary, it's necessarily not impermanent.
Except
Yes. Okay. Yes, it is not momentary because it is a mere absence. It is a non-affirming negation. Yeah, it is permanent. Okay, so yes, the cup and its selflessness. I put here the cup and existent. Yeah, existent is permanent. Yeah, it is permanent because it's not a mere negation. Yeah.
because it's the object of an conceptual mind.
Yes, it is the appearing
An
object.
appearing object, yeah.
Otherwise, the cup could be permanent, yeah, because it is
Yeah,
also object of thought consciousness. Yeah. Okay, so if it follows that if it is the appearing object to thought consciousness, it's necessarily permanent.
except
Very good. So yes, existent itself is permanent, but if it is existent, it's not necessarily permanent. Yeah. Okay, for instance, the cup. The cup is existent and it is not permanent. Yeah, everybody agrees, huh?
Can you say the definition of existent again? It is the appearing object.
So it will not be the definition, but it would be an explanation of why it is permanent, because it is the appearing object to thought consciousness, to thought cognition, to conceptual cognition. Yeah, it is the
Is it
appear-
so? Is it? I mean, existent makes it an object. Existence as a generality is the that is the existence of everything. Is it because is generality permanent?
So we could say generality itself is permanent, but if it is a generality, it's not necessarily permanent. For instance, cup is a generality. So I forgot to mention, I forgot to mention to Chaviji that we will see also the instances and generalities. Yeah, but yes, we will delve into that. Yeah. So yes, existent is a generality, but is a permanent generality. Yeah, because some instances of existence are permanent and some are impermanent. So the permanent contamination makes the whole set permanent.
But how can an existent be permanent and impermanent?
Oh, so it's not possible, yes. So indeed, it's the same with Januar.
Oh God.
Januar in Hindi
Yes, yes.
is masculine, but if it is an animal, it's not necessarily masculine. Yes,
Yeah.
the general set is the appearing object to thought consciousness because in order to apprehend all phenomena, you need to apprehend permanent phenomena. Yeah? And in order to explicitly apprehend permanent phenomena, you need your thought consciousness. You need to think. Then, because you need to think when you apprehend the whole set of the generality existent, then the generality existent is permanent. But if it is an existent, it's not necessarily permanent.
So I have the ability to think, which makes me permanent, but what I think of is not permanent. It's constantly, my thoughts are changing, but the ability to think is always available to me.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I am both permanent and impermanent.
No, it's not because you think that you become permanent, yeah? Yeah, it's not possible that something is first impermanent, then it becomes permanent. Or it's not possible that a phenomenon is first permanent, then becomes impermanent. Yeah,
Oh,
it's not, yeah.
but don't we need something to start from? I mean, we have something that's permanent, that's starting. Something has to start.
Can I propose something there?
Yes,
Yes.
please.
Our mere self, right, is permanent. How much aware of it we are or not. I'm just as a question. So
Yes.
our
You could
mere
say
self
that-
goes across samsaras, goes
Yes. Yeah, it is
kind
not it is not permanent. It's enduring, but it is not permanent. Yeah,
so
because
mere self is not permanent. Oh, okay.
yes, because what means permanent? Do you have the definition of permanent?
Something
Non-momentary.
Non-momentary, it follows the subject how the rabbit is permanent.
Oh, phenomena that is
Yeah,
it
but
exists.
it changes with time. We've discussed that. A mere self changes with time because we become
Yes,
wiser and so on. But the
exactly.
existence, this understand from the
Yes,
point of impermanence as a quality, but as an existence, which is a different dimension,
yes,
this exists not in its current form. It changes with, as I said, abilities, because we grow, we learn, we become closer
yes,
to bodhicitta and so on.
hopefully.
Hopefully. No, I think that's the purpose of this different samsaras that we are learning, right? So yes, we go back
Yes,
and forth, but
we could,
the
we could
trajectory.
say that the self, the mere self, which is equivalent with the person and with the individual and with the I, the when we say I, me, and so on, yeah. So they are equivalent, yeah. And the one that exists is intuitively existent. Yeah, we will see that
Right,
a bit
right.
later. But yes, it is intuitively existent and it is impermanent. It's changing moment by moment. Still, it is continuous through lifetimes. Yeah.
Right.
So, of course, the Sotrantika would say that at some point it will disappear, because if you become enlightened, then you die and that's finished. Your continuum ceases. For the Sotrantika, Vaibhashika, and some schools of the Chittamatra. Yeah? But otherwise, yes, we could say that there is no beginning. There is no beginning of the self, of the mere person, the mere individual, and still it is changing. Yeah.
Right. So
Very good. Okay, so it is impermanent. It cannot become permanent. But
so only mere emptiness is permanent?
So selflessness is permanent. Existence is permanent. All mere negations, all non-affirming negations are permanent. And we could say that any set which contains permanent instances is permanent itself. But it doesn't mean that if it is an instance of that, it has to be permanent. It can be impermanent. For instance, existence, selflessness. Yeah. So selfless is permanent, but if it is selfless, it's not necessarily permanent. The
And
cup is
space?
selfless, and space is permanent, and compounded space is permanent. It's a mere negation.
So can we say
yeah.
the absence of phenomena, the absence of any phenomena is permanent?
Yes.
It's a mere emptiness.
Yes, we could say, for instance, the absence of an affliction and its seeds in a continuum is permanent. It's a true cessation. It's permanent.
But it has a start.
Yes, exactly. It at some point it comes into existence, but it doesn't mean that it is produced.
Right, that I understand. It's not produced, but it has a start. It has a birth.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
It has a start only for the instant that is experiencing it. It is already existing, right?
So the true cessations are not already existing. Otherwise, we would be already Aryas or Arhats. But it's
I
not
think we are deluded Aryas and Arhats, because it's the seed of Buddhahood is in everybody. We just are deluding ourselves that we are playing this game.
We are sleeping Buddhas. But Buddha means awaken. So we are sleeping and awaken at the same time.
Christophe, like a clarification, but an absence of an illusion, right?
Yes.
May come also stage-wise. That means small chunks and eventually starts and then it stays.
Yes.
But it can come also as you feel it as an experience that you feel, but momentarily, and then you go back. So your partners, until you
Mhm.
actually,
Yeah.
so while
Yes, it can happen. It means temporary, permanent. For instance, you have the absence of a manifest affliction during the dhyanas, during the
right,
form,
jhanas, yeah,
form and formless, the dhyanas. Then the desire afflictions are not manifest. They are not
right,
there. The seeds are still there, yeah? But the
right.
absence of a manifest affliction will be temporary, permanent, because as long as the person then discards that samadhi, that dhyana, then the manifest afflictions will come back.
Okay, thank you. Clear.
Okay,
Sorry,
sure.
I thought Pallavi would help you with the. But
You help.
It's
Thank you.
good to discuss. It's good to discuss. Yeah. Very good. Very
I have a
useful.
question.
Yes, please.
Existent, can it be object of a direct perception?
We could say if it is unexistent, yes, but existent itself, no. It cannot be the appearing object to direct perception. We mean
Can
that,
it be, but it can be realized for direct
yes,
perception.
yes, maybe the yogic direct perception could realize the existence of something, for instance. Why not? But it would realize that implicitly. Yeah, because
But
if we say
can they,
existent or the existence of something, this is the object, the appearing object to thought consciousness, but unexistent can be explicitly realized by a direct valid cognition. Yeah? That cup is
yeah,
unexistent and it is explicitly realized by a direct valid cognition. But existent itself cannot be explicitly realized by a direct valid cognition because it's not manifest, it is permanent.
right.
I
So
was thinking that cup and existent can be one substance.
Mhm.
If existent is, the existent that is observed on cup would be
Yes.
impermanent, right?
Yes, if it were to be impermanent, but it is permanent. Yeah, that's why when we say the cup which exists, yeah, if we say, for instance, in Tibetan, Bumba Yoba, yeah, pot exists, then it is permanent because existent is permanent. Yeah, yes, Marcia.
So existent, like, how can you say this? Manifested, observed on cup.
Yes, because existence would be explicitly realized explicitly realized on cup by the thought consciousness. Thought consciousness can apprehend explicitly existent, but
So
direct
existent
perception is
cannot be the object of a direct perception.
the appearing object. Yeah, exactly.
Hearing, yeah.
but for all phenomena, even for the cup, but also for ourselves, we are empty from any self existence, but there is also we are also not produced, and there's no begin and end. But if you consider, for example, the cup is out of mud, right? Or for example, we are forms of our mere self that comes and goes. Or for example, flower from the seed. So there's always something that takes different forms and creates phenomena at the point where we actually need to observe them and there's a valid cognition of them because, due to dependent arising at that moment makes sense. I need to drink coffee, so I take my blue cup and put coffee. But the actual substance that creates the cup is, not produced, it's internal, it's not generated, it comes, from the earth because the cup, we break it, it goes to the earth, becomes mud, and then we take the mud and, generate again and again. So it's this kind of cycle. The same thing with the mere self.
Yeah.
That part, the thing that generate, even though it changes shapes, it is impermanent, but this is existent in an impermanent way, but we don't immediately comprehend it. We need a thought to analyze it, but we can still see it through valid cognition if we think about it. You know what I'm saying?
You've been speaking about the substance of a cup, or
No, I mean the material that is actually generates in the end, right?
yes, okay.
It's like us, like our mere self goes from life, from samsara to samsara, and
Yeah.
takes different bodies, and then embodied in a different shape and form, and whatever, from animal to you name it, right? Or even in human form, we can take different types of forms.
Okay.
But our mere self is the one that goes from life to life. It's the same thing with the cup. It's the mud that goes through centuries, from
Yes.
through eons, is there,
Yes.
and it's used for other forms. One of its form is a cup.
Yes.
So, but if we are acknowledged of that,
Mm.
the main the what we said before, not the producer, we can say the producer of that, not but the material that produces it.
Mhm.
It goes across eons.
Yes, we could say that the continuum of matter has
Matter, exactly, matter, right?
exactly the continuum of matter and the continuum of mind have no beginning and no end.
Exactly, that's what I mean. Thank you so much. That was so beautifully put. No, I'm learning. I'm learning. So the
Yes,
continue. Sorry?
that's what His Holiness says. He says that the continuum of matter and the continuum of mind have no beginning and no end. Of course,
Correct.
yes, maybe it's more explainable according to the Mahayana schools, yeah, specifically the Prasangika schools and according to Tantra, highest Yoga Tantra. But even in the Sautrantika, we could say that generally speaking, even if the continuum of someone can cease after adulthood,
Mm-hmm.
and after that, the non, how do you say, the nirvana without residue, yeah, then in that case, the continuum of mind ceases. But otherwise, in general, it doesn't cease, yeah. We could say that samsara in general has no beginning, no end. It can have an end for someone, yeah, for the Buddha, it has an end. But for, in general, it doesn't have. Yeah, so that's why we can say, yes, matter and mind have, in general, no beginning and no end.
Correct. But the continuum of mind, sometimes we are not aware of because we are not, we're not able to see it. But the continuum of matter, we are able to see it.
Yes.
Through valid cognition, coming back to what Sigmund said, Sigmund generated this thought to me.
Yes.
The continuum of matter, we can see, in the cup, for example, right? Because it's how mud is, put in porcelain or whatever form with the different processing, and it ends up, in our hands. And while the mug is impermanent and empty, the matter that generates it has a continuum and is
Is eternal. It's not permanent, it's eternal is what I
right.
mean. I also would confuse the eternal, like continuing in time versus changing time, and how in this definition permanent is very clear that they don't mean eternal and enduring, they mean changing from moment, not changing from moment to moment is permanent. So
Yeah, but it is existent. That's why I wanted to go not to the permanent, because we know
yeah,
it's not permanent, but it is existent.
Yes, it's an exhaustive division of existence, yeah. If
Right.
it
So that's
exists,
what,
it has to be permanent or impermanent, yeah. And
right.
both are contradictory. If it is permanent, it's necessarily not impermanent. If it is impermanent, it's necessarily not permanent, yeah.
So it is, so the continuum of matter, it's a continuum of matter, right? That
Which
is
is impermanent.
existent, but impermanent.
Impermanent,
And
exactly.
it can be seen by valid cognition, as Sigmund said, but also through thought process. So it has all
Yes,
this.
exactly.
Cool.
Very good. Very good. Fantastic. Okay. So yes, there are phenomena which are not mere negations or non-affirming negations. Still, they are the appearing objects to thought cognition, yeah, to conceptual cognition. So that's why they are permanent in their general category, you could say. But if it is an instance of that, it's not necessarily permanent. Yeah. So that's why in the Mahayana we would say Dharmakaya is permanent. But if it is a Dharmakaya, it's not necessarily permanent. It can be the Jnana Dharmakaya, the omniscient cognition of the Buddha, which is impermanent because it is mind. Yeah, so we could say like this, Dharmakaya is permanent, but if it is a Dharmakaya, it's not necessarily permanent. That's the same here.
I
But
would just add only that's also perceived by valid cognition. So it's
yes,
not only thought cognition, valid cognition,
yes,
non-mere
yes,
negation, existent but impermanent. That's the only thing that is.
yes, it has to be anyway, you know, in order to exist, it has to be observed by valid cognition anyway. Yeah, that proves that something
Right,
exists.
correct,
Yeah,
correct,
very good,
correct.
very good.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. And it explains also how we can say for the Chittamatra, you know, the three natures, dependent natures, then perfectly established nature and imputed nature. The imputed nature is permanent, but if it is an imputed nature, it's not necessarily permanent. It can be non-existent. Yeah. So that's the same here. We could say non-pot is permanent, but if it is non-pot, if it is a non-pot, it's not necessarily permanent. It can be impermanent, it can be a table, and it can be non-existent. Horn the rabbit is a non-pot. But non-pot itself is permanent because it is the appearing object of thought cognition.
Can you repeat all three
Yes.
natures? Imputed,
Yes, the dependent nature,
dependent, right? Yeah. Mhm.
perfectly established nature, and also, of course, you have different translations. Yeah, it depends
Yeah.
on, and imputed nature.
Yeah.
Yeah. So dependent natures are necessarily impermanent. Perfectly established natures are permanent because it's emptiness or selflessness.
Mhm.
And imputed nature is permanent because it contains all permanent phenomena other than emptiness. And
Yeah.
it contains also non-existent. So that's why it is permanent itself, but if it is an imputed nature, it can be non-existent.
Yeah. Imputive means, yeah, we need to, yeah.
Yes.
We generate it ourselves.
Exactly, because
Yeah.
Horn of the rabbit is a mere imputation.
Thank you.
Very good. Julie, c'est des moments là, Julie.
Hello.
So here we are debating again, you know, this, but here we have some different discussions, which is very, very interesting. You know, what means to be permanent, what means to be permanent in its generality, in a general way. And if it is an instance of that, it's not necessarily permanent. It can be impermanent, it can be non-existent, and so on. Yeah? For instance, non-pot. Non-pot itself is permanent because many instances of non-pot are permanent. Yeah, for instance, uncompounded space is a non-pot. Yeah, and many non-pots are also non-existent. So, because many instances of non-pot are non-existent and many are existent, then non-pot itself exists, and it is permanent. But if it is a non-pot, it's not necessarily permanent. It's not necessarily non-existent. It can be impermanent. It can be a table, a person, and so on. Yeah.
So, Christopher, I had a question today. I was thinking why, if there are instances of permanent under one generality, then why does that generality become permanent?
Yes, because we still need the thought consciousness in order to apprehend the whole set. It's like, for instance, I had a slide about that, I remember. Then we have, for instance, imagine that I need glass in order to read numbers, but I don't need glass, reading glass, you know, to read letters. But if I read a book, for instance, there are, you know, the number of the pages and there are letters. So I still need my glass in order to read the numbers. I don't need them to read the letters, but still I use my glass in order to read the whole book. So that's why the whole book is the appearing through the glass. Yeah, even if you don't need the glass in order to read the letters, you still have it on your nose. Yeah,
Yeah.
so if we don't need the thought consciousness in order to apprehend impermanent phenomena, we don't need the thought consciousness, but we need the thought consciousness to apprehend permanent phenomena. And because a set which includes permanent phenomena is still the appearing object of thought consciousness, that's why the permanent wins the battle. Because you still need your thought consciousness to apprehend explicitly the whole set.
Oh, because you need the thought consciousness to apprehend the whole set. But why does existence, for example, become a set of permanent and impermanent? Like when we think about existence, I'm not thinking of a set. I'm thinking of just existence as my mind would think of it.
Yes, exactly. But because existence necessarily includes permanent and impermanent phenomena, then existence itself is permanent because you still need, in order to know what means existence, then you necessarily need your thought consciousness. So that's why existence itself is appearing to your thought consciousness. But if it exists, it's not necessarily appearing to your thought consciousness. Necessarily, we could say it's not necessarily the appearing object to your thought consciousness, because for the Gelugpa, if you think about a cup appears to your thought consciousness mixed with the meaning generality. Yeah, for the Gelugpa, it's like this: the object itself appears to the thought consciousness, but it's not its appearing object, not necessarily. Yeah, so that's why if I need the glass of the conceptual cognition in order to read the book existent, then the book existent is the appearing object to the glass of the conceptual cognition. Yeah. But if it is a letter, and I don't necessarily need to put the glass on my nose if it is a letter, because it is big enough. Yeah, so that's why existent is the appearing object to thought consciousness. But if it is unexistent, it's not necessarily the case. I don't know if it's more clear. Because of course,
I was remembering your example of organic, inorganic rice, but I couldn't understand why still the permanent is the generality permanent is still permanent. Exists as well, yeah.
Yes, because of course the example of organic rice and non-organic rice that doesn't explain so much. It explains why there is the contamination of non-organic rice, but still the text would say that it's because Acharya Dharmakirti would say he's debating against the Neyayika and so on, and for them, and especially the Vaisheshika in the non-Buddhist schools. And they would say, as soon as you think about something, then this thing exists. So for instance, if I say this cup which is not a color, this cup which is not yours, this cup which is round, and so on, I would have 3 cups. So Acharya Dharmakirti says, no, the cup which is not yours, the cup which is not, and so on, they are only appearing to your thought consciousness. They are under existence. They are not real existence. They are permanent in one sense. Yes, it depends how we express that. If we say the cup which is not different and so on, yes, in that case, the cup itself is impermanent, still impermanent. But it's just a debate with those non-Buddhist schools, which would say that, you know, there is an over explanation of phenomena. There are so many phenomena and so on. And Acharya Dharmakirti is telling, no, only real phenomena, only impermanent phenomena are the ultimate truth. The permanent phenomena are existent because they are still observed by valid cognition, but they are under-existent. They are conventional. Yeah, they are the appearing object of thought consciousness. It's a way to explain that, but I'm not sure it's very clear.
But existence has to exist in order for permanent and impermanent to even be discussed. The existence, and then we are proving that existence exists through impermanent objects. Look, here's a pot. It exists. so therefore existence exists. Oh, I exist, therefore existence exists. And
Yes.
then we're debating, wait, but I'm changing from time to time, and I'm not changing from, like, things, this one is changing from moment to moment, therefore it is impermanent. This one is not changing, therefore it is permanent. But we already established that existence exists. That's
Yes, exactly.
but we cannot say if there was something that's permanent. If there is permanent, impermanent also has to come together. It cannot be that only permanent exists.
Yes, that's what the Buddha said. He said, Sarva samskara anityaha. He said, all compounded phenomena are impermanent. He never said all phenomena are impermanent. Yeah, so that's very important. Yeah, that's why all the Buddhist schools accept permanent phenomena. Yeah, phenomena which exist, of course, still they are static. They are not changing moment by moment. Yes, and of course, some can exist for a very short moment, and some can remain for long. Yeah? Like, for instance, existence is permanent in time. Yeah, it's permanent forever. There will be always existence somewhere. Yeah. Yes, Mahasha.
Can we, I'm just thinking about, you said the thought process. Thought process is, higher complexity than, for example, the valid cognition, which requires mental energy, but is lower than the thought process. Thought process is much more, let's say, intellectual, if you want. So what I'm trying to think of, mind. The mind is something that you need, it kind of co-aligns with the notion of mind, because this is the whole, right, also school of Buddhism, where we need to be able to control our mind and be, use our mind either in this mere self or the, in the, conscious self, which is a part of the samsara, right? We still have a mind, it just has two different, forms.
Yes.
So
We have
anything
to
that,
define.
so the top level is the mind, I guess. Even in nirvana, there is a mind, right? I mean, it's something that mind goes across. So mind, I would assume, is permanent as its existence, but not in its capabilities. The same thing with the mere self, right? But as
It's continuous. You could say
yes,
that it depends on which kind of mind. Because if, for instance, this I consciousness apprehending the cup,
that's the conscious mind, which is part of the conscious
yes, but still it is not remaining for long. Yeah, for instance,
mind.
the cup disappears, then the I consciousness apprehending the cup stops. Yeah, so it
Correct.
depends on which mind we speak about. Yeah.
I'm talking about the mere mind. So the one that goes across samsaras, across also
Yes.
also to nirvana. So that stays with
Yeah, because the mental cognition and mental consciousness,
right.
which has also different types of subtlety. For instance, even in the Soul Trantika, they would accept that the dream consciousness is subtler than the wake consciousness, yeah?
Right.
Even the mental consciousness, yeah? So they would say that conceptual cognition is more subtle than direct perception in one sense. So
Right.
still they have different types of subtlety, different layers of mental cognition. Some are very gross, for instance, hate and anger. They are very, very gross. They exist only in the desire realm. And some, like pride or attachment or ignorance, are more subtle. They can exist even in the formless realms and so on.
Yeah, but I'm talking about this the ultimate mind, right? The one that has the
Yeah.
whatever. I call it mere.
Yeah.
I understood that mere
Maybe.
mind is the one that goes across continuums, the mere self.
Yes. Yes.
It's a translation from the Sanskrit term, so I'm not sure how
Yeah.
else can I use it.
Which word would it be?
Mere. The Sanskrit, I don't know. I just know that it's not a very successful translation of the Sanskrit.
No problem. Okay.
I think the jiva, she means the jiva that is going, jivatma that is going from one to the next. In Indian texts, we usually talk about jivatma and paramatma and stuff like that. So.
Maybe possible. I'm not sure.
But
don't know
Dalai
those.
Lama uses this mere self. I read in his book, he uses the mere self that goes across.
So this would be according to the Prasangika, yeah, according to the
Yes.
Prasangika, which goes from one lifetime to another one, and which holds, we could say, the karmic seeds on the long
Right.
term would be the mere self. Yeah, the
Right.
mental consciousness, according to Acharya Chandrakirti, would be the temporary
Right.
depository.
Right.
But the long term, we could say, stock for the seeds would be the mere self, according to the Prasangika. But here in the Sotrantika,
Yes.
it's very different, very much coarser, yeah.
Okay,
I
so
have a
you're
question.
trying to help.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Yes,
Go ahead,
please.
Sigrid.
Christophe, you were saying conceptual mind is more subtle than direct perception?
Yes, in one sense, because it can ascertain subtler phenomena than the direct perception. Yeah, for instance, subtle impermanence, selflessness, rebirth, and so on are
The
not
subtle impermanence is ascertained by a conceptual mind?
firstly, yes, we never necessarily need to first have an inferential valid cognition of subtle impermanence in order to meditate on that and have a yogic direct perception.
Then the yogic direct perception can perceive.
Exactly. Yeah.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Okay, still the conceptual mind is mistaken, so it has to be put aside at some point on the path. The Buddha has to discard any mistaken mind, any conceptual mind.
Right. I was talking about the mere mind, or how we call it, part of the mere self that is
Yes.
existent, and that you, in order to actually process it, you need the thought process. So that's higher, and that goes the existent, and then you can understand the permanent, impermanent as a correlation to how the mind processes thoughts and then cognitions. This gives a
Yes.
structure, at least to me.
Yeah, thought consciousness is a cognition, yeah. Yeah, thought cognition is a cognition, yeah. We could say torche in Tibetan, torpa, yeah. And the definition is includes cognition, yeah. Daden, the sharik, yeah, according to Jens Butcher. Yeah, it's an other knowing cognition, determinative cognition, yeah, Shenrik. So it's a cognition, yeah. Thought consciousness has to be a cognition, yeah. Okay, very good. Very good. So that's the thought consciousness which can decide that existent and cup are one entity, yeah? Because existent is not, cannot be perceived by direct perception. Yeah. So that's why there is an if in the definition that we usually give. If they were to appear to a direct perception, they could not appear separately. Yeah, of course, there are different definitions according to the textbooks, but this one would be the one given by Venerable Genlo Sel when we had debates at Nalanda. So he said, yes, if it were to appear to direct perception, it could not appear separately. They would not appear separately. So yes, cup and existent could not appear separately if they were to appear to direct perception. Yeah? Of course, they cannot appear to direct perception because existence is permanent. Yeah. Okay, very good. So the perversion was like this. Yeah, if there are one substance, they are necessarily one entity. But if they are one entity, they are not necessarily one substance. They can be both permanent or one of them is permanent. Yeah, if one of them, if at least one of them is permanent, they are necessarily not one substance.
Or
Okay,
they
very good.
both
Yeah.
impermanent, or they can be both impermanent but appearing to different direct valid perceptions.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. That's why we have also another possibility, two phenomena which are not one substance, which are one entity and not one substance. We have it, yeah. A, not B. So could we have two phenomena which are one substance but not one entity? B, not A? No, because the perversion goes like this. If it is B, it's necessarily A. If it is one substance, it's necessarily one entity. Everybody agrees?
I
Very
have a
good.
question.
Yes,
I
please.
have an example I want to work through. A rainbow in the sky. A
Yes.
rainbow in the sky. So we're looking up, we're seeing sky and rainbow together,
Yes.
but we can see two things. It's one substance, it's two things.
They are one substance?
Well, just light. It's light in different colors. I would just say blue is behind and there is all the rainbow colors in front, or it could be
Yes.
all mixed. I don't know what it is, but I'm just seeing all of it in one. It's just lights and colors in the sky.
Yes. Okay. But still, you know, for your eye consciousness, yeah, they are, of course, they appear simultaneously. When you see the rainbow, you can see the sky or the clouds and so on, yeah. So you can see different things all together. Now, for instance, you can see my face and you can see the wall at the same time, yeah. So still we are different substances, I hope. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the wall and you are different, I understand. But is the rainbow and the sky different?
Yes, they are different, necessarily different. So that's very, very specific. Different, yeah. What means different?
Diverse phenomena.
Yes, they are different for thought consciousness. Yeah, you have the rainbow in the sky. Yeah, so the rainbow and the sky are very different. The rainbow exists in the sky. So one is the location, one is the another phenomenon. Yeah? So they are different for the thought consciousness. Yeah, so they are different. And now, are there one substance or different substances? Can your eye consciousness, can they appear separately to your eye consciousness? I guess so, no?
One substance, I'm sorry, appears separately to thought consciousness and direct perception. It is one. No?
No.
Oops.
One substance means they don't appear separately to the direct perception to which they appear. We could say they
Yeah.
appear to direct perception and they don't appear separately.
Yeah, so my direct perception of the eyes is seeing one.
Pallavi, can you see a sky without a rainbow?
Yes.
Yes, so the sky can appear and the rainbow is not appearing.
In that instance, but if there is a rainbow in the sky has to appear together with the rainbow. I cannot see a rainbow without a sky.
Yes, but still, yeah, so it means that in one sense, they are related. You know, the rainbow exists within the sky necessarily. Yeah, it's kind of atmospheric law. You cannot have any rainbow without any space, you know, some kind of space. So that's why the rainbow exists within the sky. So if there is a rainbow, there is the sky necessarily. Still, are there one substance or not? For instance, we could say even the colors of the rainbow, the different colors of the rainbow are different substances.
No, I'm saying I think it appears separately only to thought
Yes.
consciousness, because
Yeah,
I can think of, oh wait, what am I seeing here? Oh, my thought consciousness then will work. Oh, it's a play of light. I'm seeing different colors, but actually
Yes.
I'm looking at the sky. And
Yes,
these
okay.
different lights, I mean, or I'm
Right.
understanding the appearance of the
Yes.
rainbow through my thought
Yes,
consciousness.
even the yellow and the green and so on appear separately to your eye consciousness, no? They are not mixed.
They seem mixed with the sky.
Yes, yes, but for instance, because maybe your eye consciousness is more clever than mine. That's possible. But your eye consciousness can distinguish in one sense, not conceptually distinguish, but the blue color of the sky and the yellow color of the rainbow appear separately. One is yellow, one is blue. So if they appear separately, they are different substances, no?
Well, maybe my definition of one substance is continuously is getting confusing. So they appear as one to direct perception.
They don't appear as one. They don't because if they appear as one, there would be some consequences. They don't appear separately. It's just a negation. They don't appear separately.
They don't appear separately. Okay, so that meets one substance because they're appearing together. rainbow and sky, is appearing together. And then they appear
They
separately
appear together, so they appear simultaneously. It doesn't mean that they don't appear separately. Yeah, to be simultaneous and to appear separately are two different. For instance, my cup and me, we appear simultaneously to your eye consciousness. But
Okay.
do we appear separately or not?
Yeah, you're separate.
Yeah, oof. So I'm not one substance with my cup. Yeah, it could
Yeah.
be sometimes with my phone. Okay. So it means that, yeah, of course, two phenomena which are one substance have to coexist necessarily. This is one point. They have to coexist. Yeah. Still, if two phenomena coexist, or if they are simultaneous, it doesn't mean that they have to be one substance. Yeah. For instance, the rainbow and the sky. When the rainbow exists, the sky still exists. Yeah. So they are simultaneous. It doesn't mean that they don't appear separately. Or they are appearing separately. Yeah, this is very unrelated. To appear simultaneously and to appear separately or not are two different things, no?
And the part and its whole, they're also
Yeah,
two substances, like my hand and my body.
yeah. So they are what? One substance or two different substances?
I think two. No, but my head and my hand, they would for sure be two.
Ah, yes, two different parts. Yeah, not one part and the whole. Yeah, okay, two different parts.
But the whole and the part,
Then they are one substance, no?
yeah, no, I don't know.
For instance,
Well,
But
for
you could,
instance, do you agree that this side of the cup is one part of the cup?
yeah, it's one part of the cup.
And if you see this side of the cup, you see the cup.
Mm.
Yeah, so the cup and its side appear to direct perception and they don't appear separately. Or the cup and its color, the cup and its shape, and so on. Yeah?
So if I see your hand, I see your body.
Yes,
No,
Really?
we cannot. Why? I mean, I
yes.
remember just because I see a hand, it doesn't mean I can see your body. How can it be?
it could be post-accident.
Okay.
But can I give another example? I don't know if it works, but for example, the color blue, right?
For instance, I would say, so just to finish that
Yes.
point, if you hurt my hand, you hurt my body, no?
Not necessarily, not post-accident, post-operation or post.
No. Which other aggregates do I possess? Do I possess 6 aggregates? 7? Only 5, yeah? So if you hit the hand, you hit the form aggregate. You don't hit the consciousness aggregate, identification aggregate, and so on. So if you hit my hand, then you hit my body.
Okay, so two parts are two substances,
Yes, I would say so.
and the part and its whole, if they are impermanent, they are one.
Yes, exactly, that one substance. So the two parts, we could debate that. We could debate further. For instance, one particle in that part of the cup and that part of the cup are still one substance.
Can you repeat?
Because they will be one entity.
Yes, exactly. One particle within that part of the cup and that part of the cup are one substance. Because the one particle is one part of that part. Yeah.
Yeah, but
if
it's
it is
within
that
the whole.
yes, exactly. That part and that part are two different substances because they appear.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
but the part which is one particle and the grosser part which is on the same location are one substance.
Yeah, so when we point to the front leg of the table, that, and the back leg of the table, we point to something else. So those are
Yes.
two different entities. So they are two different substances.
Exactly, yeah.
But when we point to one leg of a table and to a table, we point to the same thing.
Exactly. If you hit your toe on the leg of the table, do you hit your toe on the table?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You feel the same. Exactly.
So if I come back to this, then if I point to the color yellow in the rainbow, I am also pointing to the sky.
Really?
You're pointing to the
Still,
rainbow.
On the
I was
colors, can I suggest, because that I had a question, it's the color, but also it's descriptor. For example, okay, for people that, you know, a color has always a descriptor with, you know, how it's characterized, like RGB, right? Or, you know, different ways of representing it. So color and descriptor is the, you know, it's one substance, correct?
The color and the descriptor?
Yes, like for example, there are different ways how to describe color.
Yes. So
Uh,
for instance, if
RGB, right? You have red, you have, you know, 0 to 255 different levels of red, green, blue, and a specific blue, this particular blue has a specific combination of 3 numbers, right? As a descriptor. Those, you know, the color and descriptor are unique substance because any other number will give a different type of color.
Yes, we could say if the number is a kind of definition of that color, you know, for the waves, for instance, you know, different waves, short
Right.
waves, long waves, and so on. Then if it's the definition of that color, yes, it can be. It's one substance with that color.
Because that
Because
goes
the
to
definition,
Palavir, is also the rainbow is actually different frequencies of the light as it reflects to the water of the sky, and that's how it's generated. So the
yes, but
yellow and its descriptor on the frequency that is actually
Mhm.
producing it is one substance.
Yes, but the mind which can differentiate the
Exactly.
color and the wave and so on is the conceptual mind. But still
Right.
here we are speaking about one substance, so it means we have to put
Exactly.
aside the conceptual mind. We have to keep only the direct perception. If we speak about one substance, different substances, we necessarily have the main decider is the direct perception. So you have to put your thought consciousness aside. Yeah. So it means for your eye consciousness, yeah, if your eye consciousness perceiving the yellow is necessarily not perceiving blue.
Right.
okay.
Maybe it depends on the definition of sky, because I was just looking it up in Wikipedia, and it says it can vary, the meaning can vary, but it starts with the sky is an unobstructed view upward from the surface of the earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
if I
then the
put
rainbow and the clouds would be included in the sky for me if I take this. I also,
Yes.
it
I
includes
understand.
the atmosphere and the outer space.
Yes.
Yeah,
Sky is
exactly.
part of the space, right?
It may also be considered a place between the ground and the outer space.
Right.
Yes.
So
Okay.
maybe it
So
depends, maybe we have different definitions in our mind.
No,
What is
so
Yeah.
actually,
sky
what
and
Christophe just said is that he said put thought consciousness aside and
yes.
only to direct perception. So thought consciousness is bringing up all of this stuff for me that, oh, I'm seeing the sky, but I'm seeing the rainbow, but it's in the sky, so it's actually together. But if I took out all my thought consciousness, I would actually see, I agree, I would see two things. I would see a blue background and I would see some colors in between that, and I'm now calling it a rainbow because that's what we've all agreed
Yes.
on.
But
Exactly.
but
That's the direct perception.
but you have a rainbow only when it's rain and you have droplets. So there's
Yes.
also so
Accept.
and this is so this not this definition that Sigrid used. Again, sorry, this is the scientist I'm, you know, talking to you, and apologize. But
Yes, sometimes you can have also a rainbow. You know, there is a kind of a broker effect. If you are on the top of a mountain, then you have the sunlight just behind your back, and you look at the clouds just down.
that's still
And
a different atmospheric
your
pressure. Still you
yes,
have
your shadow is surrounded by a rainbow. That's beautiful. That's a kind of a scientific effect, the broker or broken effect or something like this.
halo
I need to
effect.
check
The
it.
halo effect.
Yes, something like this. Exactly. It's beautiful. So you can believe that you have the rainbow body when you look at your shadow, but it's not true.
So
Again,
no, so
Beautiful.
So it is not one substance, even though, like, I was thinking I have to understand one substance through my thought consciousness. But you're saying, no, put your mind, thought consciousness aside. Direct perception should understand one substance.
Exactly.
It will appear
Not separately.
not separately.
Exactly.
And maybe simultaneous, but it is not separate.
Exactly.
Okay, and I have to
Yes.
understand simultaneous versus
Yeah, the
separate.
rainbow, yes, for one substance, for two phenomena which are one substance, if they don't appear separately, they have to appear simultaneously.
Yeah.
Because, for instance, the seed and the sprout are sequential. If they are sequential, they cannot appear non-separately. They have to appear separately. So that's why, yeah, two phenomena which appear to the same direct perception, they don't appear separately, have to coexist necessarily. But the main thing here, it means they don't appear separately. Because,
They
for
don't
instance,
appear
the
separately,
whole,
therefore they're one
yes,
substance. So
yeah,
to
exactly,
understand one substance, they cannot appear separately. They have to appear
exactly.
together, they're one substance.
Yes, very good.
So 1 second though, but then space, I'm seeing a tree outside, and I obviously understand that there is space between the tree and me. So I am seeing space and I am seeing tree, but they're not one substance. One is permanent, the other is impermanent.
Yes, exactly. If we speak about the uncompounded space, exactly.
But they are appearing together. Then it has to be one
Yes.
substance. I don't understand.
No,
But
it
then
follows that the
uncompounded
wall.
space is permanent.
Sorry?
But then uncompounded space is permanent, so it cannot be one substance.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I agree. But
Okay.
we just define that it is appearing together, therefore it has to be one substance.
Yes, but the uncompounded space cannot appear to the direct perception anyway.
What?
It's also not unique because you can change your no, not only that. There could be many things between you and the tree, or there could be, the one.
Yeah,
They are
I
not
agree.
unique. While for the cup, it exists. I mean, what I'm trying to say, what I think Christophe said, like the cup and its color are, you cannot separate them no matter what you do at this particular moment. While the space between you and the tree, you can change any moment because you can go closer, farther, things can fly, so they break. It's not, even though momentarily they appear together as one substance, they are not, because any moment can change. While the
No,
color,
what I'm saying is they're not one substance. The space and the tree are not one
yeah,
substance.
and they don't appear as one substance. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, yeah.
But they
No,
appear together.
They appear
no,
together.
momentarily, not not for long.
The wall and me, we appear together, but we are not one substance. We could say.
Look
This
at the
book,
hand. Look
this
at the
book,
hand as
this
well.
book and this cup, they appear together, yeah, but they don't appear. They appear simultaneously. They appear together, but are they one substance?
No.
No,
So then
because
what is one substance? I don't understand one substance.
they,
Okay, it's okay. I will go back and read it. Sorry.
they appear to direct perception and they don't appear separately.
But the yellow cover and the book are one substance.
Exactly. Very good. Very good. Yeah, so that's very important to get that notion. Yeah. In order then after to try to, I don't know if we will still have time for some other slides, maybe not all today.
The light, beautiful blue color on your jacket and the flowers on your jacket are one substance.
Oh, really?
They're one substance. The color and the
No.
There are different substances.
No, there are different instances. No. Sorry. The one substance with the thing that I was trying to say.
With
The jacket, that's what.
Yes, exactly. Okay, very good. So as you know, there is nothing which can be one substance, but which is one substance without being one entity. If they are one substance, they are necessarily one entity. Yeah, so that's the main point here. And among phenomena, otherwise Roland and Rabbit is too easy. What can be not one entity and not one substance?
Tree.
Yes, one phenomenon.
Yeah.
One phenomenon, very good. That's a very good answer. And if you choose two phenomena,
Tree
Apple and orange.
yes, or tree and orange and so on. It
What about
depends.
space and
It depends.
tree?
Yes,
One
it
is
depends.
permanent.
Sorry. It depends if the orange belongs to the orange tree. Right? If the orange is one part of the tree, then they are one substance. Okay, yes, Palamina.
It's okay. I have to understand. I have to read it a little bit more to
Yeah.
understand.
Or you could have table and chair. There are
Yeah.
two substances. So they are necessarily not one entity and not one substance. And we could say space in the east and space in the west. Yeah, there are two different entities.
Hmm.
So they are not one substance because they are permanent. And they are not one entity because they are two different entities. Yeah. Yeah, does it fit? Very good. But still one phenomenon is good answer, right? We could say just table. Yeah, if it is one, it's necessarily not one substance. Very good. So three possibilities. Okay. So do you still have time for a few things or yeah? Okay. So now we have in the end of the Lam Chumbu in the debate textbook from Yunzin Purbuchok and in Jepung Gomong textbooks also we find things like this. So you have causes and effects, and you have one substance, different substances, and so on. And here you have same in terms of establishment and abiding. Drup de chik in Tibetan, drup de chik. Yeah, so it means they are produced together, they remain together, and they decline together, they decrease together, they cease together. Yeah, so it means they have to be impermanent. Yeah. Okay, so we could say one substance and simultaneous. That's the same way to express things. So if we compare the two, are they contradictory? Equivalent 3P, 4P. So we had that debate on last Saturday. Yeah? 4P or Palagiji? Yes, Chelizia as well.
Yes, 4P.
Okay, 4P. So it means that there are some common base. What is the common base between the two? Being simultaneous and one substance?
Table and the leg of the table.
Table and the leg of the table. Yes, exactly. Yes, when they are assembled there together. Yes, very good. They are one substance. Simultaneous. Very good. Yeah, it's something very similar here. Of course, the shape, we could say it's a part of the cup, and why not? The leg of the table and the table is very similar. Because it's the shape of the cup and the cup. Yeah, can we say that the cup exists before its shape? No.
No.
Or maybe the shape of the cup exists before the cup?
Shape of the cup cannot exist unless and until there is a cup for
Exactly.
the shape. Yeah, the cup
Yeah.
is in the name of it. Yeah.
Necessarily, exactly. So it means they are produced together and they remain together. And when the cup is broken, do you still have the shape of the cup? No, exactly. So they are produced together, they remain together, and they cease together. So they are simultaneous. Yeah. And it follows that they are one substance. Yes, they are one substance because
Both are impermanent and one entity.
yes, it's easier to think like this.
Yes.
Yes, there are two phenomena which are one entity and they are impermanent. Yes, okay. So it follows that if they are one entity and they are all impermanent, they are necessarily one substance.
Yes.
Very good. So yes, they are one simultaneous substance. Yeah, they are produced together, remain together, cease together, and they don't appear separately to the same direct perception. Very good. So if we say 4P, it follows you can posit an illustration now of phenomena which are simultaneous, but they are not one substance.
One side of the cup and the other side of the cup.
Okay, one side of the cup and the other side of the cup.
Or head and hand would also work, right? Head and hand. Of the same body.
Yes. Otherwise, we think about horror movies and so on. Okay. Okay, for instance, the taste and the color of chocolate.
Mhm.
Yes, the taste and the color of the chocolate. They are simultaneous because simultaneous because
They arise and abide together.
yes, because they arise and abide together. Very good. It follows that if they arise and abide together, they are necessarily simultaneous.
Yes, I accept.
Yes, and they are not one substance.
Yes,
They are not one substance because
because they appear separately to the
yes,
same direct perception.
yes, we could say we could say that it's not really the same direct perception.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's different perceptions, yes.
yes, exactly. We could say they appear separately to direct perceptions. Yeah, very good. Yes, they appear separately to direct perceptions because
Because one is a taste consciousness and the other is the eye consciousness.
yes, very good, fantastic. Yeah, the taste is necessarily an object apprehended by not the tactile, the tongue consciousness, the taste consciousness. Very good. Yes, and the color of chocolate is necessarily apprehended by the eye consciousness. Yeah. Okay, so they necessarily appear differently, differently. So there is one point in recognizing reality from Geshe Dreyfus. Yeah, that's a beautiful book. He says that Drepung Loseling would not agree with that. They would say in Drepung Loseling's textbooks that it's a bit weird to say that the color of the same chocolate and the taste of the same chocolate are different substances. So they would not agree with that definition. Otherwise, the other textbooks would say so, yeah? Yes, Maria?
Can I say something? The taste and the color may change with time, like, of chocolate, but also if it's frozen, not frozen, or, melted, or you name it. So in that respect, there is a correlation of how the color is with the taste of the current taste. So there is the simultaneousness there, but also the correlation to that.
Yes.
So
Yes, exactly. Except the Swiss chocolate, yeah, in Zurich specifically, Swiss
still,
chocolate is immutable.
it's different if it melts in the summer or if you have it in the fridge.
Yes. But anyway, yes, we could say that even the cup, yeah, the cup and its color, they are changing moment by moment. The color may slowly disappear, fade away a little bit, and not so bright as the first day, but still, the color of the cup and the cup in their continuum are still simultaneous. Yeah. Even if they change together, even if you paint that cup with another color, still the color of the cup and the cup are still simultaneous because you don't have a red cup which has a blue color. Yeah, so as soon as you put a new color on this cup, it's another cup in one sense. It's another continuum of the cup. No? Yeah, the red cup ceases and you have a blue cup. Okay. Okay, but in the meantime, when you have not finished to put all the paint, then it's a half cup. Yeah.
Can we give the example here of the mind and body of a person?
Yes, exactly. The mind and the body of the person are different substances. Exactly. Yeah, they are one substance with the person itself, with the person himself or herself, but the mind appears to one kind of direct perception, clairvoyance, it's it, and the body appears to another direct perception, the eye consciousness.
The
Yeah,
mind
so they are,
also appears to mental consciousness, no?
yes, because the clairvoyance is necessarily a kind of mental direct perception.
Oh, like somebody else's mental. But if
Yes.
I'm talking about mine, then I can
Yeah.
apprehend my mental consciousness with my
Yes.
mind with my mental consciousness. Okay.
Exactly, exactly. And for the soul Trantika, I would say your self-cognition. Your self-cognition
Yeah.
would apprehend your mind, but cannot apprehend your body. Very
So the
good.
body and the mind are two substances,
Yes,
and the head and the person are one substance.
one substance, exactly. Very good. Very good. Fantastic. So now, do we have B not A? Do we have phenomena which are one substance but are not simultaneous?
Substance.
The current color of the, no, the initial color of the cup and the cup.
Yeah. Yeah, in one sense, if you change the color of the cup, you still have, in some way, the same continuum of the shape. Yeah, the same continuum of the cup in one sense. It's not really the same cup because before you had a blue cup, then after you have a red cup and so on. So it's not really exactly the same, but it's not really exactly the different substantial continuums. Yeah, so you could say like this. So yes, it's a difficult debate. But if you speak about, for instance, the cup and functioning thing,
Or you can say, a tree and its fruit, right? It's one
yes,
substance, but it's not necessarily simultaneous because the tree has been generated long time ago and the fruit, recently.
yes, exactly. Yeah, in this case, it
Yes.
works. Right.
What
And,
about the body and the hair?
The white hair.
You
White
can have
hair.
the hair, but the
Yeah.
body's still there, no?
yes. Why not? Why not? Yeah, you remember on last Saturday we had, for instance, one mental factor, one very specific mental factor, and the continuum of mind. Yeah, they are one substance, but they are not one simultaneous substance because the continuum of mind existed before that mental factor. Yeah, for instance, a happy feeling, yeah. Yeah, before we had neutral, unhappy, and so on, and different types of happy feelings before. So of course, the feeling itself is omnipresent, is always there, but its content can be pleasant, unpleasant, and neutral. So that's why it's not always happy feeling, not always. So that's why we could say happy feeling and the continuum of mind. It can be an eye consciousness or a conceptual consciousness or mental consciousness and so on. Yeah. Feeling is necessarily in the retinue of any main mind, not necessarily the mental one. But if we speak about an affliction, then it's necessarily in the mental consciousness. Yeah?
Can we say the same
Yeah.
thing with continuum matter and cup?
Yes, exactly. We could say cup and matter or cup and form, for instance. As we can say cup and functioning thing or cup and impermanent. Yeah, impermanent existed before that cup and will survive after the cup. Yeah, so they are one substance. When the cup exists, then it is impermanent and they both appear, they don't appear separately. But still, they are not one simultaneous substance. Otherwise, impermanent or functioning thing would be produced only when that cup is produced.
Yeah.
and not before. Yeah.
So also similarly, we can say Chavi when as a child and Chavi as an adult. They're both one substance, but not simultaneous.
We could say that there are different substances because they appear separately.
To the direct
Exactly.
consciousness, but there
Yes.
would be no the other object would not be there when apprehending the other.
Yes, they appear separately. When you see Chavi as a child, you necessarily don't see Chavi as an adult, and the way around as well. Like seed and sprout. When you see the seed, you don't see the sprout. When you see the sprout, you don't see the seed. So that's why they are different substances. But Chavi as a child and Chavi are one substance.
Oh, okay. There.
Yeah,
So the first, the Chavi as a child and Chavi as an adult are different substances because
because they appear separately to direct perception.
they appear separately to the same direct perception. Okay.
Yes,
Okay, yes, makes sense.
yes. When you
Mm,
see a child, you don't see an adult, and when you see an adult, you don't see a child. It's
yeah,
like a cause and its effect. A cause and its effect are necessarily different substances.
different substances. Okay.
Very good. Very good. So here, yes, we have functioning thing on cup, or we could say Chavi as a child and Chavi, they are one substance, but they are not one simultaneous substance. Okay, very good. And among phenomena which are not simultaneous and which are not one substance,
Chavi as a child and Chavi as an adult.
yeah, yes, exactly. Very good. That's a very good example. Yes. Or we could have table and chair, yeah, or space in the east and space in the west, and so on. But yes, Xavi as a child, Xavi as an adult is a very good example to see that they are necessarily not simultaneous because one is the cause of the other, and they are necessarily not one substance because one is the cause of the other. Yeah. Wow, very good, very good. So next time we will see same substantial type. We'll try to compare with that, with one substance and so on. And we have a heavy, heavy point, substantial and imputed. It's a very, very, very heavy topic. So of course I have some slides, but I made them more precise according to some books to make it maybe more clear than before. I don't know. I hope. So we'll see that next time. Next
Last
time,
question.
same. Yes, please.
So what is the purpose of understanding one substance? What is the benefit of that?
Yeah, maybe to understand, there are some points about that, like the person and the aggregates. Sometimes we think that the person is controlling the aggregates, but in one way, the person is only doing what the aggregates are doing. Like I'm sitting because my body is sitting. I'm reflecting because my mind is reflecting. So there is no boss within that. Yeah, just the person is doing just what the aggregates are doing because they are one substance.
Does it help also to reflect on emptiness? I think it does as well, right?
Yes, exactly, because here, of course, it's just selflessness. There is no self-sufficient, substantial, existent person. So, because the person is imputedly existent and because it is impermanent, it is not its mind, it is not its body, but it is doing what the mind and the body are doing. So that's why when we say, oh, I will meditate, indeed, it's just a wish which is in our mind, and that wish is telling, oh, I will meditate. But in that, there is no separate mind, body or mind, or no separate person from that. The person is just meditating because the mind has decided to meditate. we say me or the person because it's a very, very handy way to speak about what the aggregates are doing.
Wow. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
And the person and its aggregates are one substance,
Yes,
but the person and its mind, yeah, they're
one substance as well. Eh?
they would appear to mental consciousness.
Yes, exactly.
But the
Yeah.
body and the mind are not. Okay, I have to think about
Yes, exactly. Very good.
it. So
Thank
the
you so
aggregates
much.
with him themselves, they are not one substance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It depends. It depends which
depends.
aggregates. If you have feeling and
And
discrimination, there are one substance with the
the
consciousness
mind,
aggregate.
yeah, yeah.
The
Okay.
classes of aggregates are different
Yes.
substances, but within a class, it's one substance.
Yes, we can say, like, for instance, we could say, like, for instance, if you have a mental consciousness with a happy feeling, then the
Yes.
discrimination also is one substance with that happy
Right.
feeling, that mental consciousness. So they are all three one substance, but still they are
Right.
contradictory.
Yeah.
Very good. And also one entity, when we speak about one entity, very important also for the Madhyamaka. Yeah, the two truths are one entity. Still they are contradictory. So that's very important for this point as well. Right? Thank you so much for the sake of all the beings. It was a great pleasure to see you again and to grow all together. Thank you so much. And for the sake of for the long life and good health of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Thank you. Take care and see you very soon.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Christophe.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Bye.
everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Christophe.